not that long ago, a group of volunteer coordinators came together to exchange ideas on how to promote volunteerism in Galway. It became known as the GVN, or Galway Volunteer Network. This was followed by the setting up of a steering committee in 2004, which led to the establishment and development of the GVC as you all know it today. In the past, if one wanted to volunteer, it was very difficult to know where to turn, or even what opportunities were out there. This situation was remedied in July 2006 when the Galway Volunteer Centre opened its doors, and since that time it has provided an efficient and welcoming service to all those who wish to help others and engage in active citizenship. In this time of economic gloom, there is no downturn in the generosity of people to help others. There is a feel-good factor in getting involved, in knowing that in some small way, one has made a difference to the life of another person or to some aspect of your own community.
That was Linda Keane, chairperson of Galway Volunteer Centre, speaking to volunteers from many organisations as they gathered in Salthill to greet President Mary McAleese. The President and her husband, Dr. Martin McAleese, came to Galway to meet and thank over 100 volunteers from across Galway. Speaking to the group, President Mary McAleese said the country should be defined by the actions of these volunteers.
How we're thought of abroad is being defined, redefined by the actions, the not very good actions, of a tiny few people. Then you come here and you see here the people whose actions I want to be defined by. I insist that my country is defined by your actions. You're entitled to insist that our country is defined by what you do, because what you do is what the vast majority of people in this country do. Give generously, volunteer, spot the gaps, see what needs to be done. Don't hang around waiting for somebody else to do it. Get stuck in, get the job done. You don't wait for somebody in authority to say, oh, this is how we're going to do things. You take responsibility, you take action. What would life be like just in Galway alone if every single volunteer just stopped, just didn't do it? And we begin to think of the children who wouldn't have after school's help, the encouragement to stay at school, the encouragement with their homework. The kids, for example, who are growing up in homes where their mummies and daddies are dead ambitious for them, but their mummies and daddies didn't have the chances themselves in life that they would have wished, and have literacy problems, all sorts of problems, but they want better for their kids. And there's a gap between what they want and how they can get it. And here are people who have helped to fill that gap, to give their kids the support, the nurturing that's going to help them to get there. We think of all the sports activities that our children wouldn't have a chance to get to know if we didn't have volunteers. The fun, the crack, the colour in their lives that comes from all of that, the inclusion, the involvement, the personal growth. We think of the work that is done with our senior citizens, people who are getting on in life, whose social outlets could be reducing only for your work, only for what you're doing, drawing them in, looking after them, minding them, nurturing them, caring for them, looking out for them, looking after them, giving them the chance to learn something new. Can't believe that 700 of the senior people around here have been through computer training and know how to use all those gadgets and gizmos. Isn't that a wonderful thing? And you think of all the work that is done for those who have disability, who in the past were so neglected and overlooked, who now in this time are included in, befriended, have the fun of the Special Olympics, have good social life, good access to education and training, the scope and the chance to get a job. We think of the work that's done with the homeless, who get overlooked by everybody, but not by you. But not by you. You make their lives your business. They're complete strangers to you. It doesn't matter. They're your business. They're your brothers, your sisters.
Donncha Foley is the development manager with Galway Volunteer Centre, and he explains that the number of volunteers is increasing.
We've been getting busier and busier every month, particularly with the downturn in the economy. Compared to last year, we have 3 times as many people registering with us now. So we meet with volunteers and we help them to find voluntary work that's suitable for them. I suppose over the last 3 years we've advertised vacancies for over 200 organisations, so there's a broad spectrum from older people, people with disabilities, working on integration projects, helping out with fundraising on Saturdays in Shop Street. So there's a broad spectrum of different opportunities for people.
Anne Linsky also decided to get involved with a project in Tuam.
Just over 2 years ago I set up, it was an activity evening, it was a craft club evening for guys with special needs in the Tuam area. Started with about 10 or 12, now we have about 22 in it. It's just to give them an evening that they're involved in crafts, doing things, they doing stuff that they didn't really knew they had the ability of doing. Like, it's not their disability really, it's their ability. And then we've turned to from a craft club to as kind of a social evening now, that they come out, there's dancing, there's food, there's activities that can do alongside the crafts. And in November then December I won the Evolved Ireland Award for Culture and Disability for Ireland.
Sean Kearns is a Leaving Cert student from St. Charlotte School in Tuam, and he says volunteering gives him perspective.
We heard about the project first back about last August, and it was where we'd be getting involved with young people with intellectual disabilities, and we'd have our own committee and we'd be paired up individually one-to-one with a person with a disability. And the idea was that we'd have a meeting where we'd organise our activities, and then we'd go on our activities twice a month with our buddies, and we've done things like going to the cinema, and we thought it was a great opportunity because a lot of young people like this, they don't get the chance to go to the cinema or do things like this with people their own age without a parent or stuff. And we found so far it's been absolutely brilliant, and we're going to keep it up until May, that's the end of the year, and then it'll be continuing on next year. And we've got so much out of it because the perception of people with disabilities, it's completely changed this for us, and it's definitely been an experience that we'll never forget.
Anne-Marie Ward and Anne-Marie McDonough explain how vital volunteers help Galway Traveller Movement.
They come from the NUIG every evening, 4 evenings a week for us, for an after school project which we call Heavy Study, to help secondary kids that's going to school there, and they're all travelling kids. And since we got the volunteers, the kids' progress in school has progressed a lot, and we've a lot of kids that has finished school, the Leaving Cert, and gone on to college since.
We recruit them through SUIS and through the LIVE programme, that'll be in Kane, and the Galway Volunteer Centre.
We do it in Plaza House within our own movement, the Galway Traveller Movement.
Michael Hartnett and Sinead Bracken both give of their time freely to help the older people of Galway.
It's a new dimension to people's lives. It broadens all their horizons. They can keep in touch with their children and their grandchildren. The lady I've got at the moment, her daughter is living in Nice, and the only way she has of contacting her is through the computer, and she thrives on it.
I chose Age Action because I think it's very important that older people are recognised in our society. I get on very well with old people as well, and that's why I liked it. I think sometimes they can be neglected, and this kind of organisation just is excellent for getting them to meet other people, and for communication skills, and just the social aspect as well is brilliant.
Marty Clare works with Youth Ireland in Westside.
We get a lot of students from NUIG and also through the Galway Volunteer Centre. They play a vital role because they bring a different perspective and an attitude to the young people, and also open up different approaches and lifestyles to the kids that they mightn't be exposed to. It's a wonderful opportunity as well for volunteers to get involved on a community level with young people in the community of Westside. The project itself is catering for about 10 different council estates up in the Westside area, so the services up there cater for basically the needs of young people. There's 3 or 4 other different youth services in the area, but together as an organisation and as a group, we meet all the needs that are needed up in Westside, you know.
There is so much job satisfaction in it, so much personal fulfilment in it, and yet it's not done for selfish personal fulfilment. It's done in order that some other person's life may radiate with a warmth, with a glow that otherwise they would not have. You bring that glow into their lives, and actually the very fact that what you do is voluntary adds to the value for those who receive it by 1,000-fold. 300% increase in volunteers. That's the spirit of our people. That is who we are. They're not sitting at home miserable and worried and angst-ridden. They are out and about getting involved and saying, well, look, I have time on my hands, and I'm going to put it to good use. And I'm going to put it to use in the service, not of myself, but of other people. That is the spirit of the Irish people. That's what we'll be defined by. That's what will get us out of the mess that we are in. That's what will bring us to better times ahead.
Our colleague Stella Meehan out and about yesterday with the Galway Volunteer Centre where they organised a gathering, and President Mary Aleese they're thanking indeed the various groups for their selfless volunteering, and congratulations to each and every one of you involved there, and thanks to Stella Meehan for putting that package together for us.